Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and yeah, I've just got something I wanted to say, and I'm gonna put it simply. I just wanted to say thanks. Not least of all, thank you to everyone watching, especially those who have been hanging around for the entire duration. My God, you've seen me do some interesting stuff. I mean, I started off with videos like this. Hello there, lovely people. Alex from Nintendo Life here. What kind of a catchphrase is that? But also thank you to the directors, my bosses, and Daz Damo. You gave me this job. You're allowing me to do this, and you continue to pay me even when I put my face on things. And my esteemed colleagues as well, Xeon for being there by my side for years now. John as well, thank you for all the time that you spent with us. I'm still sad to see you go, obviously I'm sad to see John go, but through that we got the fantastic new hire of Felix as well. So, you know, what's that thing where you say, no, closed door, open window? Something like that. Felix, you're a marvelous window. To my partner, Sasha, for all the support over the years that you've given me, and to so many other people, frankly. I mean, it's just insane, frankly. It's just insane that I'm doing this, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to everyone. And sometimes I think I forget that. Sometimes I'm, you know, sort of have these 7 years, I've been doing it 7 years, of course I'm gonna have these little lapses. I wouldn't say I ever take it for granted, but let's just say sometimes I'm not as consciously aware of my thankfulness as I should be. All my colleagues over on the site, you know, Kate for coming on and doing videos with us, Gav for his tireless editorial work, Tom for returning to us after so many years, and so many other names. You know, we've got so many people on the site now, and it's just getting crazy, and I'm thrilled. But once again, I'd like to thank you, the viewers. Seriously, this is... we wouldn't be able to do this without you. We just flat out, because if no one watched, we wouldn't, you know, sort of be able to make any money from this, because no one would watch our videos, so I wouldn't be able to carry on, because I like to eat. It's good fun. Doing this job has been easily the most rewarding part of my entire life. You know, it's not that I didn't have a rewarding life before when I was at school or anything like that, although, that's probably a discussion for another time, but, you know, actually doing this and actually having a career and having people, you know, sort of invest and actually enjoy what I produce is just crackers, and is the sort of thing that if I told myself when I was, you know, sort of 13, 14, 15 that, you know, I would be able to talk into a camera and have, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, for some videos, millions of people watching and enjoying, or hopefully enjoying, I would have thought, oh, that'd be nice. That would be about as far as my confidence would go on that front, because, you know, sort of, I always wanted to do something where I make a bit of a tit of myself in public. But to actually make it a reality is a completely different beast. And it's still mind-boggling. It's still mind-boggling to this day. And the work has changed over the years. It absolutely has. Don't know where I'm going with this. I know where I'm going to go with it, but I just want to say again, everyone who has helped me, you know, sort of do what I do, and everyone who's supported the channel over the years, everyone who we've had on as guests, everyone watching, all my colleagues, just thanks. Just thanks. And you know what? Since I'm here, why don't I give you a bit of a history lesson? Because not everyone knows how I got here and how, you know, the whole situation occurred. And time again, people ask me, you know, sort of, how did you become a YouTuber? How do you become a YouTuber? And hopefully I can answer some of those. So I'm going to keep it relatively brief. That's a lie, just for the sake of brevity, but it started off when I was in university. I was, you know, studying, I say linguistics. Whenever anyone asks me, what did you study at uni? I say linguistics. That's technically not the name of the course, because I used to say English language and communication, which is what it was called, and people go, oh, where are you from then? And no, yeah. You see, people expect it to be, you know, learning to speak English when I've been doing that for years. But I was at university. I'd already done my 3 years, and I had to do an extra half a year in order to make up for the fact that I hadn't got all the the credits that I needed to actually graduate and pass, because yeah, I've had somewhat of a sort of complicated history with work ethics, and now I've got it down, thankfully, which is just as well because I'm being paid now. So I was doing an additional half a year, and all my friends had buggered off, you know, they graduated and everything like that. A few were still around, but it was, you know, most of my friends had moved on. Some of them had stopped talking to me, and I still don't get that. But, you know, sort of, I'm still in good contact with my two best friends, Crobby and Johnny. Ooh, you're the best. And just before I had to go back to university for this half year in order to get up all the credits, I wanted to do some writing. You know, I thought, what am I going to do with a career? You know, what kind of career am I going to do? And I thought, you know, I'll do some writing. What do I like? I like video games. And there was a website called Wii U Daily. And I used to use that a lot as a resource. I had a Wii U because I was an idiot, and I thought to myself, oh, you know, I could do a bit of this writing. You know, I'll get in touch. You know, and I got in touch with the host of the website, and I was like, hey, you know, sort of, I think they were asking for volunteers, and I was like, hey, that's me. I'm your man. And they said, oh, give us an example of your previous work. And I was like, oh, bloody hell, I don't have any previous work. So I found sort of an old blog post that I think I'd written but never published back in the day, and so I submitted that. You know, just the text via email. I explained, you know, sort of, it's not been published, you know, it's just a blog post, but, and even then it wasn't published, but, you know, sort of, and just, this is an example of my writing. And I never heard back. I sent another email, never heard back. I said this was going to be short, and I'm going into detail. So I never heard back, but then I started using a different website, on the recommendation of my friend John, different John to the one I worked with, Johnny, who I shared a house with at university, one of my very closest friends, and he recommended Nintendo Life. And I was like, oh, okay, so I had a look at it. And they had this caption competition going on for Tomodachi Life, and which shows you how long ago it was, 2014. And they were, you know, captions. They had a picture of Iwata putting a coin in a sort of transparent piggy bank, and you know, sort of the Wii U wasn't doing very well for Nintendo, and the 3DS wasn't exactly setting the world on fire, and I used something along the lines of Iwata checked Nintendo's profits for the year 2014, or something like that. It won a very minor caption contest, so my me got to appear in the next video that they were doing. And by that point, when I'd won, I'd got one of my boss's email addresses, and I was like, I can use this. I sent an email, and I was like, let me work, please. And having spoken to Damien since, he said that it was one of the most eloquent or verbose emails he's ever received, which is a very nice thing to say. I think I did agonize over that email, but that was my in. I started doing a few news articles here and there, and then I eventually started doing reviews and things for really crap games, like Darts Up. It's atrocious. I started doing more. I went to an event as well. There was a Monster Hunter preview and got quite drunk because it was the first event I'd been to, and they were just like, have anything you like, and you know, sort of idiot me. I was still a student. If someone offers me free anything, I grab it with both hands and both feet. So I did that. I got a little bit tiddly, and the next day I had EGX to go to because I was doing that as well, staying with my brother in London. I went to EGX where all the bosses and everyone else were, and, you know, a load of old Nintendo Life guys and gals who aren't there anymore, but, you know, key players at the time. And I was there. We were doing a Mario Kart tournament, and it was around that time that it was agreed that I would do the review for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I believe, which was crackers. So I did, and I was like, because I think I was the only one on staff who really cared about Pokemon. So I did the review for that, and that was a big deal. I was at university by this point, and I was you know, sort of trying to work on my uni work and writing for Nintendo Life, and I was like, I really should prioritize my uni work, but I didn't. I still managed to graduate though, which I'm very pleased about. I walked away with a third, which is the worst thing you can get without not graduating. I think I was 1 mark off a 2-2, which I was a bit disappointed by, but you can shut up. But hey-ho, you know, I graduated, that was the most important thing. And better yet, I kind of had my foot in the door with this company called Nintendo Life. That's probably ruined the audio. So eventually I left university in, I think technically January, but I left in December. There was nothing left to do. There was 1 week I technically had to go in for, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know why I didn't go in, but I know I went in with, I didn't go in without good reason. I basically moved out. It allowed me to move out and save an awful lot of money on rent, which was definitely preferable. So I moved out, moved back to my parents, and I got in touch with the bosses, and I was like, I want to start getting paid for this. I didn't say that, but I said, I thought to myself, what am I going to do? I want to turn this into a career, but I can't just offer to do what I'm currently doing, but for money. That's not going to fly. So I was like, what can I do? What can I do? Because it was all voluntary beforehand. And I was like, you know what? I reckon I could do some video ideas. So I was like, I've got some video ideas. And, I met up with Ant. I believe it was Ant and Damo, or was it just Ant? I met up with two of the bosses in London because they were going to be there for something anyway. And I met up and I was like, hey guys, and here are my ideas. Because I said I've got some ideas for videos that I could do, but I couldn't do it for free. And they were like, well, we're looking for a video man or woman, but it was a man, me. And so in 2015, I started making videos full time, and, took a while to get some steam, not gonna lie. Realistically, for the first, really big success we had would have been, I reckon it probably would have been 2017, unsurprisingly, because the Wii U wasn't doing amazing for us. So that was, 2015 and 2017, so 2 years. Of course it was 2 years, because I remember I should have put you on silent. My partner at the time, different, not Sasha, different partner back then, time makes fools of us all and all that. When I approached her with this and said, this is what I want to do, she said, okay, but if it's not making proper, substantial, livable money in 2 years, maybe rethink things, which is a fair enough thing. I'm not here to badmouth. It was a gamble. It absolutely was. We didn't know if it was going to work. And then we broke up about a year later. Yeah, it was 2016. And then I met Sasha later that year, which was good. So, quids in. But we split up, and it's just as well, really, because if it had been 2 years and then the cutoff, which would have been January 2017, just before the Switch came out, and just when we really started to take off, that would have been, well, I wouldn't have known, but that would have been disappointing if I'd ever been able to know, for whatever reason. They got someone else on and, it started doing well, I would have been like, well, that's a shame. But it didn't happen, thankfully. I stuck around, and 2017 rolled around, and things took off, and they have continued to take off, more slowly. 2017 was a huge spike for us because, yeah, the Switch was a big deal. And it kept growing and growing and growing. We're now 3 strong, full-time, which is mad, frankly. It's just mad to think of. And it's been wonderful. It's been absolutely wonderful. I've had some wobbles over the years, absolutely. I'd be lying, and I don't want to lie, if I said otherwise. But it's always been momentary. It's always been a momentary wobble where, I'm having a bad week or something like that. It's usually something else that's the problem, but it makes work harder, so then I sort of internalize it as work, and that's usually not the case. Sometimes things do go wrong at work, though, which no doubt you've seen in the past, but we've always come through. We've always managed to break through, and that's led us up to today, where I am now, where I can sit in my office in a house that I own. It's just insane. I've still got a mortgage, so it's not like I'm living on peaches and gravy, but we're doing the garden up at the moment. I'm able to do these things. I'm able to do something I really enjoy as a career, live and work in a house that I own. Sometimes I'll even clean this office. It's not dirty, it's just untidy. And if that doesn't make me a hell of a lucky person, I don't know what could be, frankly, because it's the sort of career. I mean, so many people say, "Oh, I'd love to be a YouTuber," you know, and they have ideas of grandeur, and me too, to be honest. I've tried a few times to do a YouTube channel, actually. I had a YouTube channel with my friends from uni, and that went nowhere, obviously. But, you know, it's you know, the fact that I can actually do this is crackers. And yeah, some days it's not ideal, and there's a lot of stuff that's, I don't want to say boring, but a lot of sort of tedious realities that come with any job, and they're just as true in this job as well. And it's absolutely fine. I still thoroughly enjoy it every single day. I wake up and I'm like, you know, it's quarter to 9. I better load up the computer. Having got out of bed about half an hour prior. Getting out of bed at 8:15 every single day is no bad thing, unless you start work at 7 or something. So that's where I am today, and it's because of you. I know I've said it loads of times, but thank you. Honestly, thank you for wanting to view what I produce, and the rest of us on the channel as well. But this is a kind of a selfish video in that sense. I want to say thank you. I'm the one doing the thanking here. So thank you. Thank you yet again. It's only because of you, and because of so many other people, of course, that I'm able to continue doing what I do, and I'm able to continue entertaining you, or at the very least, making things that you don't hate. Thank you for everything, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then please continue to enjoy Nintendo Life for years and years to come. I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'm sticking around for the long haul because I've got it damn sweet here. And be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye. Or should I say see you soon? Maybe not.